When preparing for an exercise in self-discovery, it's always helpful to remind yourself that your mind has the best chance of absorbing the most useful information when it can move into a calm state of relaxation. And perhaps the best way to facilitate this transition is by simply closing your eyes and taking in a few deep breaths. Because when it feels like things are moving too fast, sometimes it can be nice to pump the brakes on life and just slow down and bring yourself and your thoughts back to the here and now so your mind can begin to slow down and engage in a unique kind of experience, one that welcomes you to consider possibilities and probabilities, an experience that can help you feel more safe and secure, and simultaneously asks you to roll the dice, take somewhat of a chance, and immerse yourself in the type of journey where you don't know what's likely to play out, which, believe it or not, is something you've actually done hundreds, if not thousands of times before. Considering every day of your life, you willingly move forward through the minutes and hours of each day without being 100% certain what's going to happen next. Yet day in and day out, you wake up and willingly walk the path in front of you. And if you are still taking your time getting comfortable due to feeling preoccupied or distracted, you can rest assured knowing that there is at least a better than 50-50 chance that you can begin to feel increasingly calm as time goes on. And the odds are definitely in your favor that the more time you spend sitting quietly with your breathing beginning to slow as it is now, the greater the odds those very thoughts moving through your mind at the moment can help you discover something very important. And you can attest that for as long as you've been able to think, you've been able to think about the future, something so natural for the mind to do, something you may have already done today or may be doing right now, simply picturing what the future will look like, be it 15 minutes from now or 15 years from now. And trying to predict the future can be so challenging. Forecasting events that will probably happen, events that could happen, events that probably won't happen, even events that are very unlikely to happen. Long shot events you sometimes hear about: winning the lottery, finding a 4-leaf clover, having twins more than once. 1 in a million events that could happen, but are highly unlikely. And when you hear about events like these happening, It's so natural to think, what if this happens to me? And it's so interesting how something might seem more likely to happen just because we hear about it happening or can imagine it happening, which begs the important question, what are the odds that the outcome I'm imagining will actually happen to me? Maybe my imagination is telling me something is going to happen, but reality is trying to show me it's highly unlikely, like the possibility of it snowing in the summer, which would be a nice change of pace on a hot day, an unlikely phenomena, yet one you could picture yourself in at this moment, slowly walking outside into the snow and feeling the brisk air touching your skin as your bones start to shiver. You could start to remember what it's like to reach into the frigid ground to make a snowball as the chill from the snow slowly numbs your hands, with your body feeling cold and your hands feeling very cold, creating that unique feeling where part of your body feels different from the rest, like when part of you is highly focused and part of you is highly relaxed, or when part of you is immersed in the present experience, and part of you is thinking about the likelihood of something specific happening in the future, or when part of you wants to make a change, and part of you isn't quite sure. A very common internal conversation to have, and one you've likely experienced if you've ever rolled the dice and made a major life change, a chance you took that worked out well for you, something as recently as the past few weeks or within the past few years, starting a new job, starting a new relationship, ending a relationship, moving somewhere new, or another game-changing event personal to you that may be starting to slowly come to the surface. When you took some kind of gamble, not knowing how it would play out, yet you decided to be bold and bet on yourself. And as you slowly start to reconnect with that time in your life, you can stop and wonder, what was it that made you say, okay, let's do this? It's almost like there's a part of your mind that recognizes the risk, but a deeper part of your mind that knows you may very well be capable of managing the risk. A deeper part, knowing that you do have a great deal of resiliency that can be accessed when needed, as well as the ability to learn and figure things out. So maybe, as your mind continues to rediscover these capabilities, you can wonder, is the probability of something undesirable happening possibly much lower than you think? And is the probability of you being able to handle something bigger than you think? especially given these capabilities you have, which are there even if you can't see them, just like the air covering the space around you, that you continue to breathe in and out, sinking your body even deeper into relaxation, while your brain continues to build a stronger understanding of the connection between probabilities and outcomes, and that just because something is possible doesn't make it probable. Although it's probably possible that there are a number of things that are both possible and probable, and maybe it's not improbable or impossible that the odds of something desirable happening might be higher than you think. And good things very much can happen when you slow down and take the time to rest comfortably as you are now, enjoying the increased clarity that can really help you the next time your thoughts start to drift into the future. And the next time this does happen, and you are presented with outcomes you'd rather not experience, you can readily ask yourself, is this even possible? And if so, what are the odds of this even happening? And understand at the deepest level possible that just because something is possible does not make it probable. And the next time you are pondering about the future and your anxiety tells you that an event will be overwhelming, you can feel more confident and assured moving forward, because history seems to suggest that you can cope in ways you thought weren't possible. And the probability of being able to handle something big might be bigger than you think. And the positive changes you want to see happen in your life may be more probable and possible than you once thought. And as this journey begins to wind down, you can take all the time you need to allow this important knowledge to sink in. And when you feel ready, you can slowly begin to reconnect with the present, opening your eyes to the possibilities that lie ahead.